The shift. 2 weeks into their marriage, something changed. Isabella woke to find Alessandro already awake, propped on one elbow, watching her sleep. That's creepy, she mumbled. You're beautiful when you sleep. Peaceful. His finger traced down her cheek. You should be peaceful more often. Hard to be peaceful when you're married to a monster. Is that what I am? A monster. You kill people. I protect what's mine. There's a difference. His hand slid into her hair. And you're mine, Isabella. The most precious thing I own. I'm not a possession. Aren't you? His eyes darkened with hunger. You wear my ring. Sleep in my bed. Carry my name. You're mine in every way that matters. Except one. Her breath caught. Alessandro. Relax. I'm not taking you. Not yet. He leaned down, his lips brushing her ear. But I am going to start touching you. Getting you used to my hands on your body. Teaching you pleasure. I don't want. Your body says otherwise. His hand slid under her nightgown, skimming up her thigh. Isabella gasped. See, already responding to me. Stop, she whispered, but she didn't push him away. Make me. His hand moved higher, fingers brushing against her core through her panties. Tell me to stop, Isabella, and I will. But you have to mean it. She opened her mouth to tell him to stop. But the words wouldn't come. Because it felt good. His touch, his warmth, the way he was looking at her like she was the most desirable thing in the world. That's what I thought. His smile was dark, victorious. You want this. You just won't admit it yet. He withdrew his hand and got out of bed, leaving her aching and confused. Where are you going? To work. Unlike you, Principessa, I have things to do. He paused at the door. Tonight, we're having dinner together. Wear something nice. And Isabella, no underwear. What? You heard me. You want to play this game of resistance. Fine. But I'll make the rules. He left, and Isabella stared at the closed door, her body still humming from his brief touch. This was dangerous. He was getting under her skin, and she couldn't let that happen. But God help her, she wanted more. The seduction. That evening, Isabella dressed for dinner in a black dress. She'd intended to wear underwear out of spite, but at the last moment, she found herself leaving it off. She told herself it was because she didn't want to fight with him. But deep down, she knew it was more than that. Dinner was served in the formal dining room. Alessandro sat at the head of the table, devastating in a dark suit, his eyes tracking her every movement. Come here, he said when she moved to sit at the other end. I'm fine here, Isabella. His voice dropped to that dangerous tone. Come here. She moved to the seat beside him, hyper-aware that she wore nothing under her dress. Good girl. His hand landed on her thigh, possessive and warm. You listened. No underwear. Her cheeks flamed. How did you? I can tell. The way you walk, the way you're sitting. His hand slid higher. I like you like this. Bare under your clothes, knowing I could touch you whenever I want. You're insane. Probably. His fingers traced patterns on her inner thigh, maddeningly close but not quite touching where she ached. Tell me, wife, have you ever touched yourself? Alessandro, have you? He leaned closer. Late at night, in our bed, while I'm sleeping beside you. Have you touched yourself, imagining it was my hands? She had. God help her, she had. Just last night, listening to his deep breathing, wondering what it would feel like if he touched her properly. I'll take your silence as a yes. His fingers brushed against her core, and she gasped. So wet already. Your body is honest even when your mouth lies. Please, she whimpered, unsure if she was begging him to stop or continue. Please what? I don't know. Yes, you do. He withdrew his hand, and she nearly cried from the loss. But you have to ask for it, Principessa. You have to admit you want me. I don't. Liar. He brought his fingers to his mouth, tasting her essence, and Isabella's core clenched. You taste as sweet as I imagined. And one day soon, I'm going to feast on you properly. Make you scream my name while I devour every inch of you. Isabella could barely breathe. Her body was on fire, aching for something she didn't fully understand but desperately needed. Eat your dinner, Alessandro said calmly, as if he hadn't just destroyed her composure. You'll need your strength. For what? For later. When I teach you exactly what your body can do. The surrender. That night, Alessandro kept his promise. After dinner, he led her to their bedroom and locked the door. Isabella's heart raced as he turned to face her. Undress, he commanded. Alessandro. We're done with the games, Isabella. You want me. I want you. And tonight, I'm going to show you exactly how good it can be between us. He moved closer. But I need you to trust me. Can you do that? I don't trust you. Your body does. He cupped her face gently. Let me pleasure you. No penetration. Just my hands, my mouth, showing you what you've been missing. Why? Because I want you begging for me. Because I want you so desperate for release that you'll do anything I ask. His thumb traced her lower lip. Because when I finally take your virginity, Isabella, I want you grateful for it. She should say no, should push him away. But her body was screaming yes. Okay, she whispered. Victory flashed in his dark eyes. Take off the dress. With shaking hands, Isabella unzipped her dress and let it pool at her feet. She stood before him completely naked, vulnerable. Perfection, Alessandro breathed. Absolute perfection. He undressed slowly, revealing the powerful body she'd only glimpsed. Muscles, scars, a tattoo across his ribs. He was beautiful in a dangerous way. On the bed, he ordered. Spread your legs for me. Isabella climbed onto the bed, her heart pounding. When she spread her thighs, Alessandro groaned. So beautiful. So pink and perfect. All mine. He knelt between her legs, and when his mouth touched her core, Isabella nearly came off the bed. This was nothing like her fumbling attempts to touch herself. This was expert, skilled, devastating. His tongue did things she didn't know were possible, finding spots that made her see stars. Alessandro. She cried out as pressure built low in her belly. That's it, Principessa. Say my name. Let everyone in this house know who's making you feel this good. His fingers joined his mouth, sliding inside her carefully, stretching her. The combination was too much. Isabella shattered, her first real climax crashing through her in waves. Alessandro worked her through it, drawing out every pulse of pleasure. Then he moved up her body, kissing her deeply, letting her taste herself on his tongue. That's lesson 1, he said, his voice rough. Tomorrow, I'll teach you more. And the day after that, even more. Until you're so desperate for me to claim you properly that you're begging for my length inside you. You're cruel, Isabella gasped. No, Principessa, I'm patient. He pulled her against his chest. And you're worth the wait. The next week, Alessandro was true to his word. Every night, he'd bring her pleasure in new ways. His fingers, his mouth, toys she'd never imagined existed. He mapped every inch of her body, learning what made her gasp, what made her scream. But he never took her fully. Never gave her what she was starting to desperately need. It was torture. Beautiful, exquisite torture. Isabella found herself watching him during the day. Admiring the way he moved, the power in his body, the intelligence in his dark eyes. He was brutal in business but gentle with her. Feared by everyone but patient with his inexperienced wife. She was falling for him. Despite everything, despite her resistance, despite knowing he was dangerous. She was falling in love with the Mafia King. Alessandro, she said one night after he'd brought her to climax twice. Why won't you finish? Finish. You know what I mean. You give me pleasure but you never, you're always still. Hard. He took her hand and placed it on his length through his pants. Isabella gasped at the size of him. I'm always hard around you, Principessa. Every moment we're together, I'm aching to bury myself inside you. Then why don't you? Because I want you to ask. To beg. His dark eyes burned into hers. I want to hear my innocent little wife beg me to take her virginity. I won't beg. Yes, you will. He kissed her deeply. Soon. Very soon. The breaking point. 3 weeks into their marriage, Isabella reached her breaking point. Alessandro had been away on business for 2 days, and she'd been aching for him. Missing him. Wanting him in a way that terrified her. When he finally returned, she was waiting in their bedroom. Alessandro, she said as he entered. Principessa. Did you miss me? Yes. She stood, moving toward him. I missed you. I need you. His eyes darkened. Need me how? You know how. She reached up, pulling him down for a kiss. Please. I'm ready. Ready for what? Say it. Ready for you to make love to me. She took his hand and placed it between her thighs. She was already soaked. Please, Alessandro. I need you inside me. I'm begging you. He groaned, his control finally snapping. Thank God. I was going insane. He lifted her easily, carrying her to the bed. They undressed each other frantically, desperately. I'll be gentle, he promised as he positioned himself above her. I don't want gentle. I want you. Isabella. Please. Claim me. Make me yours completely. Alessandro kissed her deeply as he began to push inside. There was pressure, discomfort, a sharp pinch of pain, but Isabella didn't care. She wanted this. Wanted him. Breathe, he commanded, holding still. Let your body adjust. She did, and gradually, the pain faded. He pushed in further, inch by inch, until he was fully seated inside her. They both groaned at the sensation. You feel incredible, he said, his voice strained. So tight. So perfect. Mine. Yours, Isabella agreed. Move. Please move. He did, slowly at first, then with increasing passion. The discomfort transformed into pleasure, building with each thrust. Alessandro. She cried as her release approached. That's it, Principessa. Come for me. Come on your husband's length. She did, crying out his name as pleasure crashed through her. Alessandro followed moments later, groaning as he found his own completion. Afterward, they lay tangled together, sweaty and satisfied. I love you, Isabella whispered, the words escaping before she could stop them. Alessandro went still. Then he tilted her face up to his. Say that again. I love you. I know I shouldn't. I know this started as an arrangement. But I've fallen in love with you, Alessandro. For the first time since she'd met him, Alessandro smiled, a real, genuine smile that transformed his entire face. I've loved you since the moment I saw your photo, he admitted. This was never just an arrangement for me, Isabella. I wanted you from the beginning. Not just your body. All of you. Really. Really. He kissed her softly. I love you, Principessa. My wife. My queen. Mine. Yours, she agreed. Forever. 1 year later, Isabella woke to sunlight streaming through the windows and Alessandro's arm around her waist, his hand resting protectively on her rounded belly. 6 months pregnant with their first child, a boy they'd already decided to name Marco, after her father. Speaking of her father, Marco Rossi had been surprisingly accepting of their love match. Especially after Alessandro had helped him avoid a war with a rival family. Good morning, wife, Alessandro murmured, his lips against her neck. Good morning, husband. How's our son? Active. I think he's going to be trouble. He's my son. Of course he'll be trouble. Alessandro's hand moved gently over her stomach. But he'll also be loved. Protected. Everything I wasn't as a child. Isabella turned in his arms. You're going to be an amazing father. Only because I have you. He kissed her softly. I never believed in love, Principessa. Thought it was a weakness. But you showed me it's a strength. The strongest thing I have. I love you. I love you too. More than life itself. Isabella thought back to that terrified 18-year-old girl in a wedding dress. How she'd resisted, fought, refused to give in. Best resistance she'd ever mounted. Because it had led to this, a husband who adored her, a baby on the way, and a love so powerful it had tamed the Mafia King. No regrets? Alessandro asked. Not a single one. Good. Because you're stuck with me forever, Principessa. Promise. That's a guarantee. And he meant it.